President Art Rooney II called his meeting yesterday with Ben Roethlisberger productive. He also said that Big Ben assured him that he's committed to coming back to help the Steelers win. The Steelers have said Roethlisberger will not be back on his current contract because they can't afford his, get ready for this number, guys, whopping $41.25 million salary cap hit for 2021. Stephen A., how important is it for Big Ben to return to your Steelers? In case people don't know, you are a fan of the yellow and black.
Well, it's very pivotal. Even though we look at Ben Roethlisberger and we question whether or not he can be the ingredient that leads them to a Super Bowl title, I personally believe it's the absence of a running game. They've had a bottom three running attack in the National Football League the last 3 years, which is just unthinkable for a Pittsburgh Steelers franchise that I've known and loved since I was a kid. But here's the bottom line. What other choice do you have? I think it's incredibly pivotal because as of right now, if you don't have Big Ben Roethlisberger, what you've got to defer to is Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins. Here's my response to that as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Hell no. No way in hell should that be the case. Now listen. Big Ben Roethlisberger, I think he's prone to mistakes. I think if you get him to throw the football 50 times, he's going to make a couple of mistakes, relatively pivotal mistakes. I recognize that. But the brother still threw for nearly 4,000 yards. He still had 33 touchdowns and just 10 interceptions. He still completed over 65% of his passes. He's been to 3 Super Bowls. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He does make plays. He does make enough big plays. And when you consider the plethora of weapons that they have available to them, whether it's James Washington, Juju Smith-Schuster, Claypool, Eric Ebron and the crew, the bottom line is you've got weapons to throw the football to, and you have somebody in Big Ben Roethlisberger who can throw them the football. He can't struggle off tacklers the way that he used to. He can't even scramble the way that he used to and extend plays to the degree that he used to. But he can still do it if you gave him a running game. My biggest issue for saying that Ben Roethlisberger's return is pivotal is the fact that there can't be a leaning on Mason Rudolph. I don't want to hear that Mason Rudolph is the new quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I've seen enough of him. I don't believe in him. I believe in him as a backup. I believe in him as an emergency dude to lean on for a few possessions or even a couple of games. But the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to say it again, hell no. And don't get me started with no Dwayne Haskins. I don't want to hear it. Let him show that he's professional enough to be in the league and to be responsible, Max, without getting himself in compromising situations during the Rona. Okay? You would think you know better as a quarterback to not expose yourself to the Rona, okay? But this dude was sitting up there being irresponsible. I don't know the details. I ain't going to get into the details, all right? This is a PG program, but damn it, he shouldn't have been in those situations, okay? So I'm not trusting him, and I certainly don't trust Mason Rudolph on a football field, and that is what elevates the level of urgency when it comes to Big Ben Roethlisberger returning as the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I don't know if they have the assets, Max, to pull off a trade and get a guy a quarterback, and I certainly don't believe they can do it through the draft. That's where I am with Big Ben.
Well, Stephen A., you're being very emotional.
Yes.
May I say you're being quite
Absolutely.
emotional. And you are a fan of the team.
Yes.
Allow me, even though everyone in our generation had a rooting interest, either Cowboys or Steelers, right? So I'm with you on the Steelers. But let me, as not a hardcore Steelers fan, give you an objective take here.
Feel free.
It would be real cool if Roethlisberger ended his career with the Steelers eventually, the only team he ever played for.
Yeah.
One of the greatest franchises ever. As a great quarterback, all that. The way Eli did for the Giants, same draft class, right? When you've won Super Bowls with a franchise and been to a bunch of them, and it's cool if you can do that. It ain't necessary. Joe Montana was the GOAT before Tom Brady was. Joe Montana didn't end his career in San Francisco. Tom Brady replaced Joe Montana as the GOAT. Tom Brady didn't end his career in New England. And even other guys who were just associated with franchises and didn't win Super Bowls but were excellent for a bunch of years, like Phillip Rivers in San Diego and later Los Angeles, or Donovan McNabb in Philadelphia. They didn't end their careers with the teams they started with. That's the NFL. So from that point of view, it'd be cool. It ain't necessary. That's one. Two, from the Steelers' point of view, Roethlisberger is a competent quarterback still, and he's clearly the best option that they presently have, at least that we're aware of. but he ain't going to win him the Super Bowl. I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl right now with Roethlisberger unless you are like the most loaded team in the league, given his age, the injuries, and the change in his game. Especially with the offensive line the Steelers have. That's why they don't run, because they don't run block. They don't pass protect. And then he lost his dude on the line who retired. Okay, so I don't think Roethlisberger makes the difference. But you say, yeah, but at least he's competent. The Steelers won't be like a laughing stock without him. But here's the thing you might be forgetting, Stephen A. They got Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's never been under 500 in his career as a head coach, even without Roethlisberger, as little as, 13, 14 months ago? 15 months ago? Like, Belichick has been under 500 now. Not Tomlin. So what you know about the Steelers with Mike Tomlin as coach, they will field a competitive team. Does Roethlisberger make a difference? Yeah, but it's marginal in the sense that he ain't going to win your Super Bowl or make a deep playoff run, I don't believe, at this point. So from the Steelers' point of view, it'd be cool to have Roethlisberger. It's not the end of the world if you don't. And from Roethlisberger's point of view and the rest of ours, same sort of thing. Yeah, it'd be nice. It ain't that important, Stephen A.
Well, you can say that. I disagree with you, again, because of Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. And even though I love me some Mike Tomlin, all right, you know how I feel about Mike Tomlin, my brother, big-time coach, and he deserves a lot of credit. This is the one point where you can, I pinpoint things because I'm a Steelers fan. For years, I had issues with the secondary. All these short dudes he puts in the secondary, but they're athletic and they can play. Well, now that you've got Minka Fitzpatrick back there with my boy Joe Hayden and the crew, I mean, I'm good with it. I would love a pass rush. I wish J.J. Watt would go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Join the brothers. Join the brothers. Derek and T.J. Join the brothers and show up in Pittsburgh, J.J. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. But here's the deal, Max. I can't let Mike Tomlin or Kevin Colbert off the hook when the last 3 years your running game has been 29th or worse. This past season it was dead last at 32. That's unacceptable. These are Pittsburgh Steelers we're talking about here. You got to be able to run the football, okay? And yeah, you got to do some run blocking. And I think James Conner can play. He's not a scrub. I just don't view him as a game changer. He's a methodical workhorse and what have you. And obviously, he ain't the most durable dude in the world either, even though his story is great and he's overcome an awful lot in his life. And he's somebody that I root for constantly. At the end of the day, they got to buffer that running game, man. They got to buffer the running game. And if you do that, I think that Big Ben Roethlisberger can do a lot for you because you're not asking as much from him. The man has thrown for over 60,000 yards. He's attempted over 77,000 passes in his career. He's got 396 touchdowns on his resume. He has 201 interceptions, so I'm concerned about that. Not even a 2-to-1 ratio in terms of touchdown to turnovers. But in the end, if Big Ben Roethlisberger, if you can get him a running game, and that defense is still that defense, yes, Max, they'd have a shot to win it all. They would.
Yeah, but you know what? Pouncey retired, and especially in the modern NFL, the center to the quarterback, forget about the relationship off the field or anything like that. That's so important. If anything, the offensive line, I know you're like, well, he's old, you can get a younger guy. It's likely to get worse at first. And then, Stephen A., the fact of the matter is, Roethlisberger is great. He's going to the Hall of Fame. The fact is, Terry Bradshaw, because of the 4 Super Bowl rings, it's not like Roethlisberger is going to replace him as the greatest Steelers quarterback in the eyes of the fans. What would my point is, there's nothing that says absolutely Roethlisberger must stay a Steeler. He's aiming for this, or without him they'll be terrible, or with him they'll win a Super Bowl.
That's all they got. That's all they got. And remember, when you bring up my Steelers and you bring up Terry Bradshaw, we loved Lynn Swann. We love John Stallworth. But you know what? Franco Harris and Rocky Bleier in that backfield didn't hurt. Okay? It didn't hurt. You need somebody to run the damn football. You need somebody to run the damn football. That's all I'm saying. Run the football.
Facts.
What a defense.
Steelers finished the season at 12-4. I just want to mention this quickly, guys. Again, Big Ben, the $41 million, that would be the largest cap hit over a single season. That really is unreal money.
He's going to take a pay cut, Molly. He's going to take a pay cut.
No, of course, but I'm just saying, imagine he was about to make $41 million this season. That's nice.
That was never
we'll leave it there. When we come back here on First Take, still no deal for Dak. So should